There is a number your bank calculates before you ever apply for a credit card. Not your credit score, not your income, not your debt-to-income ratio. The number your bank calculates first is how much money they expect to extract from you annually once you become a cardholder. That number, for the average American credit card holder, is $2,431 per year. Every year, not once. Every year you remain a cardholder. $2,431 flowing from your checking account to your bank's revenue line through a system so precisely engineered that most of the people paying it believe they are using the system to their advantage. My name is Emily, and 2 years ago I was sitting at my kitchen table on a Sunday afternoon, doing something I had been avoiding for 11 months. I was adding up everything I had paid in credit card interest, late fees, annual fees, and foreign transaction fees over the previous 3 years. Not because I was irresponsible. I was not irresponsible. I paid my balance most months. I kept my utilization low most of the time. I thought of myself as someone who was good with money. I added up the numbers anyway. The total for 3 years was $6,840, $2,280 per year on average. I sat at that kitchen table for a while without moving. Not because $6,840 is a catastrophic number. It is not. Because $6,840 invested at 7% annual return over 20 years is $26,400. I had not lost $6,840 to credit card costs. I had lost $26,400. Because every dollar paid to a bank in fees is a dollar that does not compound in the account that belongs to you. I want to show you exactly how the credit card system extracts $2,400 per year from the average cardholder. Not through obvious traps, not through irresponsibility, through a system that is specifically, deliberately, and expensively engineered to feel like a benefit while functioning as a drain. And I want to show you the specific structure that converts the credit card system from something that costs you $2,400 per year into something that pays you $750 per year. Same cards, same purchases, different outcome, from understanding the mechanism and building the right structure around it. Here is the number that frames everything. Americans collectively carry $1.13 trillion in credit card debt as of the fourth quarter of 2023, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The average credit card interest rate in the United States as of late 2024 is 22.8% annually, the highest recorded level since the Federal Reserve began tracking this data in 1994. The average American household carrying a balance pays $2,338 in interest alone per year. Add the average annual fee paid by cardholders, $84 per year across all cards, including those with no annual fee, because premium card fees are averaged across the cardholder base, and you reach $2,422. Add late fees. The average American cardholder pays one late fee per year at an average of $32, and you reach $2,454. Add foreign transaction fees, balance transfer fees, cash advance fees, and over-limit fees for the cardholders who pay them. And the industry average per cardholder per year settles at approximately $2,431. $2,431 per cardholder per year, extracted through mechanisms that are disclosed in documents written in language specifically calibrated to be technically compliant and practically incomprehensible. But before I show you the mechanism, I need to show you why intelligent, financially aware people pay this number year after year, despite believing they understand their cards. In 2019, researchers at the University of Chicago, studying consumer financial behavior, published what they called the Credit Card Optimism Bias Study. They presented participants with their own credit card statements and asked them to estimate how much they had paid in interest and fees over the previous 12 months. The average estimate was $312. The actual average was $1,847. The average cardholder underestimated their annual credit card cost by 83%. Not because they were not looking at their statements, they were looking at their statements every month. Because the statement presents information in a format that makes the monthly number visible and the annual number invisible. $43 in interest this month does not feel significant. $43 multiplied by 12, $516, feels different. But you never see that multiplication on your statement. You see $43 this month. Next month, you see $39. The month after, you see $51. Each number feels small. The total, 516, 840, 1,200, is never shown to you in a format that connects it to your annual financial picture. This is not an oversight in statement design. It is the statement design. Meet three people, all 28 years old, all earning $64,000 per year, all using credit cards for everyday purchases. Their names are Jason, Marcus, and Claire. Jason uses his credit card the way he has always used it. He pays the full balance in months when money is easy. He pays the minimum in months when money is tight. He has never calculated what those minimum payment months cost him in interest. He has never added up his annual fee total. He has two cards, one from his bank and one retail card he opened for a discount 4 years ago and still has because closing it felt complicated. Jason pays $2,612 per year to his credit card companies. He thinks of himself as someone who manages credit responsibly. He is correct in the sense that he has never missed a payment. He is incorrect in the sense that he has built a financial structure that extracts $2,612 from his net worth every year, without him ever seeing it as a single number. Marcus knows credit cards are a trap. He has read about credit card debt. He cut up one card 2 years ago after a difficult few months. He now uses a debit card for most purchases and one credit card that he pays in full every month without exception. He pays the annual fee on that card, $95 per year, and considers himself to have escaped the credit card system. He is mostly right. He has eliminated interest costs entirely. But the $95 annual fee on his card provides rewards worth approximately $68 per year based on his spending patterns, meaning he is paying $27 net annually for the privilege of using a card that provides him slightly less value than it costs. He has escaped the trap's most expensive component and walked into a smaller version of the same trap. Claire spent one Saturday building what she calls her credit card architecture. She holds two no annual fee cards chosen specifically for her spending categories. She set up automatic full balance payment from her checking account on the due date for both cards. She has never paid $1 of interest. She has never paid $1 in annual fees. Her two cards together generate approximately $740 per year in cashback rewards on purchases she was going to make anyway. She did not find a better credit card. She built a better structure. The difference between Jason and Claire is not income, not discipline, not financial knowledge in any abstract sense. The difference is that Claire spent one Saturday understanding exactly how the credit card revenue model works, and then built a personal structure that captured the value the system offers, while avoiding every mechanism through which the system extracts value in return. That Saturday is what this video is about. Here is how the credit card revenue model actually works. Credit card companies generate revenue through three primary mechanisms. The first is interchange fees, also called swipe fees, which are charged to merchants every time you use your card. The average interchange fee is approximately 2% of the transaction amount. When you spend $1,000 at a grocery store on your credit card, the grocery store receives approximately $980. $20 goes to the card network and issuing bank. This happens on every transaction, for every cardholder, regardless of whether the cardholder carries a balance or pays in full. Interchange fees are not paid by you directly. They are paid by merchants. They are partially passed on to you in the form of slightly higher prices on goods and services. Research suggests interchange fees add approximately 2% to the cost of retail goods for all consumers, including cash users who receive none of the rewards. This is the mechanism through which credit card rewards programs are partially funded, by slightly higher prices paid by everyone, including people who don't use credit cards. But interchange fees alone are not sufficient to fund the rewards programs banks offer. They are supplemented by the second mechanism. The second mechanism is interest charges on revolving balances. This is the primary revenue driver for most card issuers. When you carry a balance, when you pay less than the full statement amount, you begin accruing interest at the annual percentage rate stated in your cardholder agreement. The average APR is 22.8%. 22.8% annual interest on a carried balance is the most expensive form of regular consumer debt available in the United States. It exceeds the average auto loan rate by approximately 15 percentage points. It exceeds the average mortgage rate by approximately 16 percentage points. The specific mechanism that makes revolving credit card debt so expensive is daily compounding. Your APR is divided by 365 to produce your daily periodic rate. Your daily periodic rate is applied to your average daily balance every single day. The interest accrued each day is added to your principal, which becomes the base for the next day's calculation. On a $3,000 balance at 22.8% APR, your daily periodic rate is 0.0625%. Day 1 interest, $1.88. This $1.88 is added to your principal. Day 2, interest is calculated on $3,001.88. This is not a significant difference on day 2. Over 12 months of carrying a $3,000 balance, the daily compounding produces total interest of approximately $726, compared to $684 if the same rate were calculated as simple annual interest. The difference is $42 over 1 year. Over 5 years of carrying a $3,000 balance, the compounding difference is significantly larger. The mechanism is not dramatic in any single month. The mechanism is precise and relentless across every month simultaneously, in every cardholder account that carries a balance, producing the 22.8% times $1.13 trillion revenue that the credit card industry collects annually. The third mechanism is fees. Annual fees, late fees, cash advance fees, foreign transaction fees, balance transfer fees, overlimit fees. Annual fees are the most visible and the easiest to evaluate. Does the card's reward value exceed its annual cost for your specific spending patterns? Late fees are the most preventable. A single autopay instruction eliminates them entirely. Cash advance fees are the most expensive per transaction. The average cash advance fee is 5% of the advance amount with a $10 minimum, and interest begins accruing immediately at the cash advance APR, which is typically higher than the purchase APR, often 29% or more. And foreign transaction fees, typically 2 to 3% of each international transaction, are entirely eliminable by choosing cards that do not charge them. Balance transfer fees, typically 3 to 5% of the transferred amount, can be cost-effective when used to consolidate high-interest debt, but require careful calculation to ensure the fee cost is less than the interest cost of the alternative. The fee revenue model is straightforward. Charge for behaviors that cardholders either cannot predict or find too inconvenient to avoid. The solution to every fee category is a specific structural decision made in advance, not discipline applied in the moment. Now I want to show you the specific architecture that produces Claire's outcome instead of Jason's. The architecture has 5 components. The first component is selecting only no annual fee cards. The average premium credit card annual fee in the United States is $178. Premium card issuers justify this fee with rewards programs and benefits, airport lounge access, travel credits, concierge services that sound compelling and are rarely fully utilized. A 2022 study by NerdWallet analyzing premium cardholder behavior found that the average holder of a card with a $150 or higher annual fee utilized approximately 58% of the card's stated benefits annually, meaning the average premium cardholder pays for benefits worth $109 and receives $63 of actual utilized value. A net cost of $46 per year to carry a card they believe is providing them value. No annual fee cards with solid cashback programs. The Citi Double Cash returning 2% on all purchases. The Chase Freedom Unlimited returning 1.5% with category bonuses. The Discover It returning 5% in rotating quarterly categories provide competitive rewards without the fee drag. For most cardholders whose spending does not include heavy travel in the specific categories premium cards optimize for, no annual fee cards with flat rate cashback produce equal or better annual returns. The first component of the architecture: every card in your wallet charges 0 annual fee. The second component is mandatory full balance auto pay, not manual full payment each month. Automatic full balance payment from your checking account on the due date. The distinction matters behaviorally. Manual full payment requires a monthly decision. Monthly decisions are subject to the competing pressures of that specific month: a tight paycheck, an unexpected expense, a cash flow gap. In a difficult month, manual payment becomes partial payment. Partial payment triggers interest accrual. Automatic full balance payment removes the monthly decision entirely. The balance is paid in full on the due date, whether you think about it or not. You do not carry a balance because the balance is eliminated automatically before interest can accrue. This single structural change eliminates the primary revenue mechanism of the credit card industry from your account entirely. Zero interest charges, permanently. Not through discipline, through an autopay instruction that takes 4 minutes to set up once. The second component of the architecture: automatic full balance payment from checking on the due date, set up immediately, never reconsidered. The third component is selecting cards that match your actual spending categories. Cashback rewards programs are structured to return higher percentages in specific categories: groceries, dining, gas, travel, streaming subscriptions, and lower percentages on general spending. Your two largest spending categories outside of housing are almost certainly groceries and dining. The American Express Blue Cash Preferred returns 6% on U.S. supermarket purchases up to $6,000 per year and 3% on dining. The Chase Sapphire Preferred returns 3% on dining and 2% on groceries. The Capital One Saver One returns 3% on groceries, dining, and entertainment with no annual fee. If you spend $400 per month on groceries and $150 per month on dining, totals that are below average for American households, a card returning 6% on groceries and 3% on dining produces $288 per year in grocery rewards and $54 per year in dining rewards. $342 annually from two spending categories on purchases you were going to make anyway. This is not a trick. This is the interchange fee revenue that the card network collects from merchants being partially returned to you as a cardholder. The share that is returned to you versus retained by the bank is determined entirely by which card you carry and whether you carry a balance. If you carry a balance, the bank keeps the interchange revenue and charges you interest on top of it. If you do not carry a balance, the bank keeps a portion of interchange revenue and returns a portion to you as rewards. The cardholder who carries a balance pays for the rewards of the cardholder who does not. The third component of the architecture: select cards that optimize for your 2 or 3 highest spending categories. The fourth component is a second card for non-category spending: a flat-rate 2% cashback card on all purchases. The Citi Double Cash, being the benchmark, captures rewards on every transaction that doesn't fall into your primary card's bonus categories. This is not card complexity. This is a simple rule: bonus category purchases on card 1, everything else on card 2. 2 cards, no annual fees, both on full balance autopay. If your total monthly non-housing spending is $2,000 and approximately 40% falls into bonus categories, you might earn approximately $150 per year on category spending at elevated reward rates and approximately $240 per year on general spending at 2%. Total annual cashback of approximately $390 on that spending pattern. More if your spending is higher. More if you optimize categories more precisely. The range for most households implementing this architecture is between $500 and $1,000 per year in cash, back on normal spending. Claire's $740 per year is within the typical range for this structure. The fourth component of the architecture: one flat-rate cashback card as your secondary card for all non-category spending. The fifth component is the annual card audit. Once per year, I do this on the first Sunday of November, before the holiday spending season. I review every card I hold and answer 3 questions. First, does this card have an annual fee? If yes, does the reward value I actually received this year exceed the fee? If the answer is no or close, I cancel the card. Second, has my spending pattern changed enough that a different card would better match my categories? If my largest spending category shifted, my primary card should shift too. Third, are there new no annual fee cards with better category returns than my current cards? The credit card market changes. Better options appear regularly. The audit takes approximately 40 minutes. It has resulted in me switching primary cards once in 2 years, when a new card offered significantly better grocery returns in my specific situation. The fifth component of the architecture, annual 40-minute audit on a fixed date to ensure the architecture still matches your current spending pattern. Now, I need to talk about the one situation where everything I have said becomes irrelevant. The architecture I described works perfectly for one type of cardholder, the cardholder who pays in full every month without exception. It does not work for the cardholder carrying a balance. If you are currently carrying a credit card balance, if there is a number on your statement that carries forward month to month accruing 22.8% interest, the rewards architecture is not your first priority. Your first priority is eliminating the balance. Here is why. Your cashback rewards on a no annual fee card return, approximately 1 to 2% on your spending. Your interest charges on a carried balance cost you 22.8% on that balance. Earning 2% rewards while paying 22.8% interest is the equivalent of carrying a bucket with a hole in the bottom. The water you are adding, the rewards, is a fraction of what is draining out. The mathematically correct sequence is eliminate carried balance first, build rewards architecture second. There are two effective mechanisms for balance elimination. The first is the balance transfer. Many cards offer 0% promotional APR on balance transfers for 12 to 21 months, with a balance transfer fee of 3 to 5%. Transferring a $3,000 balance to a 0% promotional card costs $90 to $150 in transfer fees and saves approximately $684 in interest over 12 months, a net saving of $534 to $594. The critical requirement is paying off the transferred balance in full before the promotional period ends. At the end of the promotional period, the standard APR, often 20 to 26%, applies to any remaining balance, potentially reversing the savings. The second is the debt avalanche method. List every credit card balance from highest to lowest interest rate. Pay minimums on all cards. Direct every additional dollar of debt repayment toward the highest rate balance until it is eliminated. Then redirect that payment to the next highest rate balance. The debt avalanche minimizes total interest paid across your entire balance portfolio by eliminating the most expensive debt first. A 2021 study in the Journal of Consumer Research compared debt repayment strategies and found that the debt avalanche method saved an average of $1,080 in interest payments compared to the debt snowball method, which pays smallest balances first, on a typical American multi-card balance portfolio. $1,080 from choosing which balance to pay first. Eliminate the balance, then build the architecture. In that order, without exception. Now let me return to Jason, Marcus, and Claire 10 years later. They are all 38 years old. Jason has paid $2,612 per year to his credit card companies for 10 years. Total extracted from his net worth, $26,120. He has received some rewards. Estimates suggest approximately $400 per year in cash back that he sometimes redeems and sometimes lets expire, netting an actual annual cost of approximately $2,212. That $2,212 per year over 10 years, invested at 7% annual return instead of paid to a bank, would be $30,547. Jason does not think of himself as someone who has lost $30,547. He thinks of himself as someone who manages credit responsibly and gets some rewards for his spending. Both of these self-assessments are partially accurate. Neither of them captures the $30,547 reality. Marcus has paid $95 per year in annual fees for 10 years, $950 total, on a card that provided him approximately $68 per year in utilized rewards value. Net cost, $270 over 10 years. He has avoided the interest trap entirely. He is in a significantly better position than Jason. But the no annual fee optimized category full balance autopay structure he never built would have paid him an estimated $650 per year in cash, back instead of costing him $27. The difference over 10 years, approximately $6,770 in his favor versus out of it. Not a catastrophic number, but a number that represents what the architecture difference produces over a decade. Claire has paid $0 in annual fees, $0 in interest, $0 in late fees. Her architecture has returned an average of $740 per year in cashback rewards. Over 10 years, $7,400 received from the credit card system, compared to Jason's $26,120 paid to the credit card system. The gap between Jason's outcome and Claire's outcome over 10 years is $33,520. Same income, same spending categories, different structure. $33,520 is not a rounding error. That is more than half of Jason's annual salary. That is the financial value of one Saturday afternoon spent building the right architecture versus 10 years of using cards the way the bank designed them to be used. I want to be direct about something before I close. The credit card system is not designed to trap you through deception. Every fee, every interest rate, every compound calculation is disclosed in your cardholder agreement. The system works because the disclosed terms are presented in a format and context that makes the cumulative annual cost invisible until someone adds it up. The $43 this month does not feel like the $516 this year. The 1.2% fee that sounds small does not feel like the $26,120 over 10 years. The format keeps the number invisible. The Sunday afternoon I spent adding up 3 years of credit card costs, $6,840, $26,400 in future investment value, was not a revelation about the credit card industry. It was a revelation about what I had never added up. The credit card industry did not hide the number. I never looked at it. I am looking at it now. You are looking at it now. The architecture that converts the credit card system from a $2,400 annual expense to a $750 annual income takes one Saturday to build and approximately 40 minutes per year to maintain. The structure is available, the cards exist, the autopay function exists. The category optimization is a one-time research task. The only thing that was missing was seeing the annual number clearly enough to decide it was worth the Saturday. I saw it on a Sunday afternoon at my kitchen table. $6,840, $26,400 of future wealth. It was worth the Saturday. Hit the like button right now if this video made you want to add up your last 3 years of credit card costs. It takes 1 second, and it puts this calculation in front of someone who is currently paying $2,431 per year without ever seeing it as a single number. Next, watch my video on the complete no-fee cashback architecture. I show every specific card I use, every category allocation, and the exact autopay setup that took me 4 minutes to implement and has paid me $740 every year since. And I want one specific number from you in the comments right now. How much did you pay in credit card interest and fees last year? Log into your card accounts. Add up the interest charges, add the fees. Put the real number. Not what you think it might be, the actual number. Because the difference between what you think you paid and what you actually paid is almost certainly larger than you expect. And that gap, that specific dollar amount between your estimate and your reality, is the most honest measure of how well the system was designed to keep you from seeing it.